reproduce in many ways. The first is by seeds. In fertilization, male and female cells join together. When these join, an embryo is formed. The seed protects the embryo and stores food for it. Once this occurs, the seed is either dispersed or released. The seed will land on the ground. Based on the condition of the ground, the embryo may be able to germinate and another plant will grow. There are two groups, those with flowers and those
Plants
with
with flowers are referred to as angiosperms. Male parts make pollen, where the female parts contain ovules. Pollen is carried from the male to female reproductive organs through wind, insects, or animals, where the male gametes fertilize the ovules. In most angiosperms, part of the flowers develop into fruit, which protects the seeds for further reproduction.
Another form of sexual reproduction in plants comes in the form of gymnosperms, which are seed-bearing plants where the seeds are held in cones. The final method of reproduction is that of by spores. Ferns, mosses, and liverworts all reproduce using spores.
The alternation of generations is the pattern of reproduction in the life cycle of a plant. This diagram resembles this process for ferns. There are two phases, sexual and growth. In the sexual phase, the goal is to produce gametes. A male gamete is referred to as a microspore, and a female gamete is referred to as a megaspore. Together, they are just referred to as spores. This then creates a gametophyte, which is gamete producing and haploid. This then develops into the gametes, which then lead into the growth phase. For the growth phase, the goal is to grow and produce sex organs. These sex organs create the sporophyte, which is diploid. This cycle continues for fern growth.
The released spores grow into a plant called the gametophyte. The gametophyte has both male and female sex organs, the sperm and the egg. Fertilization occurs when the sperm swim to the egg, therefore water is required for fertilization. The zygote grows using mitosis. This plant is a spore.
Mitosis allows the gametophyte to host the new sporophyte. After time, the mature sporophyte has developed. On the underside of the fern leaves, the sporangium holds the new spores. Finally, meiosis occurs and the spores are released.
In order to replicate the alternation of generation and life cycle of a fern, we performed an experiment in order to see what would be the best way for a fern to grow. Our best result for this received water, sunlight, and air. We started with spores, which grew into the following.